Hey guys, Zack here, and welcome back to another action figure review, and today we'll be taking a look at the Bandai Movie Monster Series Jaguar version 2.0. Now this character originally appeared in the 1973 film Godzilla vs. Megalon, which, I'll be honest, I haven't seen in a while, so I can't really give you my exact thoughts on it, though I talked to my friend about it, and he doesn't like the movie. I'm gonna watch the movie sometime in October, so if I do make another video, related to that movie, I'll talk about my thoughts in the greater detail. But yeah, I don't really know too much about the movie. I only saw it once when I was like 7, so yeah. Anyway, as far as this figure goes, I actually got this a while ago. I think I got this all the way back in late July actually. The reason I was holding off to reviewing this guy because I was waiting for my Bandai Movie Monster Series Megalon to appear, and I wanted to do a double review in one. But unfortunately, that figure, for some reason, they're being weird. It's out, but they were just kind of like, yeah, no, we have this thing back ordered. It's weird. Hobby Link Japan is kind of weird, but yeah, so yeah, I don't really have a whole heck of a lot else to say. So yeah, let's just get right into this. First, we'll take a look at the tag, and this is a Bandai vinyl. You've seen these before, especially on the newer ones. We have a screenshot from the movie, Jaguar there, Godzilla 2021. On the back, Godzilla vs. Megalon, Movie Monster Series, Bandai. A nice silhouette of Jaguar. And on the inside, we have some legal information and some Japanese writing. So, yeah. Nothing too much to say. You've seen this several times before, so I won't go too into detail, but yeah, it's there. Now we'll take a look at the painting on this figure, and the painting on this figure, it's pretty good, though in some cases it's not really applied too well, but we'll take a closer look at that in a second. But first of all, most of the figure here is this metallic silver, but there's also a lot of reds and yellows and blues here, and I really like that. One thing I really like about Jaguar is just how colorful he is. He's just a really eye-catching character. So, yeah, I think that's great, but some of the application here isn't perfect. A lot of it is very small. In fact, most of it's very small, but it's still something that I feel like should be pointed out. For example, on the chest here, where this arrow thing is, some of the silver sort of bleeds onto that. And again, it's very small. In fact, you literally have to squint in order to see that. But like I said before, I still think it's something that should be worth pointing out. And even here, some of the yellow sort of bleeds onto the red. And same here, you can see more specifically there. So it would have been nice if they cleaned that up a little bit. But again, this is with Bandai vinyls, they usually, do kind of skimp out on the paint, which isn't a big deal. And it's not the end of the world here. These are all very minor things, but still I think they're things that should be, pointed out anyway. Some of the red sort of bleeds onto the silver here. You can especially see it right there. And yeah, also the eyes aren't really too nicely applied. They're just kind of it looks like someone just took a marker and just sort of slapped it on. So it's yeah, I don't know, I would have done something. I would have touched up the painting here a little more than how they handled it. But overall, it's still not bad. Everything is on par. They didn't really forget to paint anything. Everything you would expect to be painted on a Jaguar figure is painted here. So I think that's really good. But some of the paint apps here, I will admit, are a little sloppy. But paint apps, the sloppy paint apps, I mean, on the chest and eyes and everything like that, it is very small, and you literally have to squint in order to notice them. But yeah, other than that though, the painting on this figure is still pretty nice. So I'd say the painting still gets a full pass. So yeah. Now we're going to take a look at the articulation. And the articulation here, well, there's not a lot, but this is a Bandai vinyl. They typically don't have too much articulation. It's just, the arms and the waist here. So yeah. It'd be cool if they had other joints, maybe a joint in the neck here, or maybe I don't know, this is just suggestion. I don't really just something, but maybe a swivel in the the shins here. I know, or the ankle here. I know that's kind of weird, but it's something, I guess. 3 joints, not great, but honestly, again, it's a Bandai vinyl. There's not too much articulation in these figures, so yeah. So, the articulation on this figure, I don't know. I'd say like I don't want to give it a full pass because like there's not a lot, but at the same time I don't want to give it a super low pass because like like it's a Bandai vinyl. This is like about average. So this might be a little too generous, but I'd say 3/4 of a pass. Again, like it's only 3 joints, so there's not too much, but honestly, like again, it's a Bandai vinyl. It's whatever. So yeah, the articulation here, I'd say gets 3/4 of a pass. Now we'll take a look at the sculpt, and the sculpting on this figure, well, it's really good actually. Usually with Bandai vinyls nowadays, even if the painting isn't really on par with like the older Bandai vinyls, they still do a really good job with the sculpting. Of course, if they have to, they'll sometimes like take artistic liberties, in some cases. But for the most part, they usually get the sculpts down pretty well. And this figure is no exception. The sculpting here is pretty much one-to-one to what we see in the movie. I think maybe the hands might be just ever so slightly too small, but other than that, though, the sculpting here is pretty much perfect. So, yeah, it looks exactly like how Jet Jaguar did look in the movie. So, yeah, the sculpting on this figure, I I don't really have a whole lot to say. The sculpting here is perfect, so the sculpting definitely gets pass. Now we'll take a look at the detailing, and the detailing on this figure isn't bad. Jet Jaguar, like in the movie, didn't really have a whole lot of detailing, and he was just, very clearly a guy in like a rubber suit, but still, like there is some detailing here that I think we should talk about, specifically on the head here. His mouth, I think, is detailed really nicely. All the little like lines in there are detailed, really nicely and really defined. I like that. And even on the top of the head here, the little like screws here look nice, and so do the antennas. I think they are detailed pretty nicely. And even on the back here, all of the screws are, like I said, detailed very nicely. And all of like the detailing on the back of his neck here and on his arms, just very nicely defined, you know. And same with the shins here. The detailing here looks very nice. And the feet too. Again, have a lot of nice detailing there. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the detailing. Not a whole lot to say as far as the detailing goes. Jet Jaguar had kind of a simple design. Very colorful, but still very simple. So there wasn't like a whole lot of detailing, on Jet Jaguar in the movie. But, the detailing that is here is still very nice. So I'd say the detailing here gets a pass. Now we'll do some size comparisons. Here he is with the Bandai Movie Monster Series Singular Point, Jet Jaguar. Of course, this Jet Jaguar was a lot smaller in the anime series Godzilla Singular Point, but still, at the end he did turn really big, so I guess that is like in character. But regardless, there they are. Again, the Jet Jaguar. In the past, I said I didn't like Jet Jaguar, but he's actually really cool now. I'm not gonna lie. Here's my original Bandai Movie Monster Series Jet Jaguar. Unfortunately, mine. When I was a kid, I liked to chew on my toys when I was a kid, so this figure, you can definitely see it in the face here. He is just, like, chewed up, like, to bits, which, really a shame. So, even if the painting here isn't as nice as the painting here, it's nice to have the Jet Jaguar figure that isn't completely destroyed, like this one is. So, yeah. And also, this figure is really expensive now, this original one, so, yeah, there's that. Here is the more recent Playmates Jet Jaguar figure, and again, I don't understand why he can't stand. And here's the only figure of Megalon I own. This 4-inch little board game piece that I bought last year. Yeah, it's not crazy, but there they are. I actually did order that one. The new one that's coming out. I did order that, and the painting on it doesn't really look great. In fact, it looks very lackluster, but, a Megalon figure is a Megalon figure, and to be fair, I've always wanted one when I was a kid, so there's that. Plus, hey, more content for you guys, am I right? And, of course, here he is with Dr. Billy Grant. and some hand sanitizer. So at the end of the day, should you get this? Honestly, I'd say yeah. I mean, granted, the painting in some spots isn't really too neatly applied, but for the most part, this is still a very nice Jet Jaguar figure. Um, like I said, even if the painting isn't really too cleanly applied at times, it's still really nice. It didn't really skimp out on anything like that. All of the parts that should be painted are painted on this figure, and I think that's really cool on Bandai's part. Because usually with Bandai vinyls, there are some parts that they don't normally paint. But here, they pretty much painted everything, and, again, the actual, application in some spots isn't really the best, but still, it still looks really nice. It can stand, too, unlike with the Playmates one, and it's also really affordable. On HobbyLink Japan, it's only, 20 bucks, whereas, I mean, yeah, the Playmates one, that one's, I think 8 bucks, not too much, but, like I said, that figure can't stand. There's a Singular Point one, but those are two completely different designs, and of course there's the original Bandai Movie Monster Series Jet Jaguar, but like I said in the video, that figure is incredibly expensive, so yeah, it is nice to have a much more affordable 6-inch Bandai vinyl of Jet Jaguar. It's really cool, so honestly, yeah, I'd say definitely go for this figure. It's only 20 bucks, hell yeah, this is a nice figure, so yeah. Anyway, that is it for today. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in the next video. Peace. Zack out.